Well, good day, tubes. How's she hanging? So, how's she going today? Pretty good and stuff here. So, December 20th, 2011, we did a video called The Mighty STIHL Collection with Grimy Cold Starts. I think we're just about due for a revisit on the Grimy Cold Start STIHL collections. There's been a few more additions, so anyways, a few more additions as in, I'll show you. A few more additions. Here we go. Few more little additions here and there, and a few more saws. So we are going to revisit the STIHL collection. Here we go. Well, we might as well do the best first. Sometimes save the best to last. Let's do the best first, but it's all best. It's all good. So anyways, first we're going to do the MS660, and I got some specs here and everything for you just so you get an idea. So this saw here is rated at 91.6 cc or 7 horsepower. Weighs 16.5 pounds. I presume that's with the bar and stuff too, but maybe that's not the bar too. That's probably just the power head, because it'll be different for the different lengths of bars. In this one you can put a 16 to a, no, wrong thing. Sorry, minimum bar is 16, maximum 36 inch. And it's a 3/8 pitch chain on this. Pretty beefy. You don't want to get that into your leg meat, that's for sure. So let's take this guy out and we'll give him a little grimy start. I haven't had it going for a little while, but this thing's really only got like, if it had 5 hours on it, I'd be surprised. Usually you can tell by the bars how, you know, scratched up they get and stuff. This one's still pretty nice. So let's take her out and give her a grimy. So make sure the chain brake's on. Set the choke. This doesn't have any primer. I don't know if my boot's gonna fit in here. Ouch! Ooh. Okay, shut her down before we wake the dead. Holy. Let's go look at number 2. Alrighty, number 2 we have the old well, it's not that old actually. This one, if it had 20 hours on it, I'd be surprised. The MS270. Good little saw, hyper little saw. It just screams. It's supposed to be like that apparently for the emissions. So MS270 is 50.2 cc. 3.49 horsepower, 12.3 pounds, and you can put a 16 to a 20 inch bar on it. Now, so we're going from 50, we'll say 50 cc to 92 cc to that guy. So from the 660 to the 270 here drops a fair bit. So 50.2 cc, 3.49 horsepower, 12.3 pounds. I think that's again without the bars, because you can put a 16 to 20 inch bar on it. So there we go. There's some gas in this one. Maybe a little bit in there to start her. And let's head her out and give her a fire. Chain's locked. So I'll show you here. That's your locker. Back here, you have to squeeze the top one first so you can squeeze your throttle. And then just push this right to the bottom. That locks your throttle on and your full choke. So when she kicks here, you want to just flip this choke up just flick it up one, like that. Give it another pull, and it'll run fast. When it does run fast, then you can click your throttle off and you're idling again. So, bar locked, chain locked. Ooh. Wants to go. Okay, let's wind her up. You ready? Good start. So this one, I do believe, has a 20-inch bar, and I do have an 18, I think, for it too. So there we go, the MS270. Next. All right, last two are arborist saws, little wee guys for limbing. You can just limit. So this is MS193T. It's 30.1 cc or 1.74 horsepower. Weighs 7.28 pounds, and you can put a 12 to 14 inch bar on these apparently. Now this one right now I've got a 12 on it because it's the same bar that and chain as that's on my pole saw for my big weed whacker. So I thought, well, you know what, that's probably all I need for cutting trees and small little shrubs and stuff. So, you know, spare chain, you know, blah blah blah, right? Everything fits together. I don't need another length of something else. So yeah, so 1.74 horsepower, 30.1 cc, 7.28 pounds, 12 to 14 inch bar. All right, let's head her out. Fire it up. Okay, so same sort of thing, chain brake, and this is the same thing. You push. Where are you here? Push the top, squeeze the throttle, push the choke down. It locks. That's actually just a fast idle. There is a separate choke on the back corner here, and then a little primer bulb too. Should just have electric start fuel injection. That'd be nice. Okay, same thing. Oh geez, I dripped on. Okay, turn the choke off. Good little saw. That was just new in the fall there. So, but okay, let's go get the old girl out now. Okay, the old girl, the old arborist. This would have been an expensive saw way back. This actually has traveled a long way too. I turn it here. It was originally bought in Tampa, Florida. That's pretty sweet, eh? So original sticker still on her. Heavy old saw. So this one is, I gotta find my sheet, the 015L. 015L. 31.95 cc. 1.75 roughish horsepower, somewhere around there. Weighs 11 pounds. And a 10 to 12 inch bar. I think this one's actually a little bigger, so someone's put something a little bigger on it than they should have, because I don't think this is an original still bar. Definitely looks different. Doesn't have their name on it. There's nothing on that side either, but she's not original, I don't think. So just to compare some specs here, the newer saw, about the same horsepower, 1.75. The new saw is a little less horsepower, or cc, sorry. The newer saw, the 193T is 30 cc, this one's 32-ish. It weighs a lot less than the new one. The new one's 7.28, this one's 11 pounds. and 12 to 14 inch bars and 10 to 12 bars, so that's pretty much the same-ish there. So pretty neat different specs there for you. So let's take the old girl out here and fire it up. Now this one's a little different starting wise. Stop and start switch there. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Chokes here, and there's a throttle lock. Yeah. So it's not all integrated with everything else, which is kind of what they do now, right? So, but no chain brake either. This one's just to protect your hand. That's no brake on this at all. So the good old days of the 60s, I think, maybe 70s, when they didn't care too much about safety. just get the work done. But let's take her out and fire it up. Hopefully she still goes. It's been, well, since 2011. It's sat here. So hopefully she's good. Let's go fire it up. Okay, so it's on. Really dangerous. I'm going to try to start it this way. Wow, you got to be kidding me. Crazy, but it's fun. Alright, last but not least for the old girls, the old saws. This is an old 041 AV Farm Boss. Probably from about the same age as that 0115. 60s, 70s-ish, and then around there somewhere. Big old saw, 61cc, 4.5 horsepower, 16 pounds without the chain and bar. And 13 to 20 inch bars. You might be able to put a 36 on it too, but it might be a bit too much for it. Now I have no idea if this one's going to start. It has been sitting preserved. There's nothing in it. So we're going to dump a little bit of fuel in it here. See if she'll fire for us. I don't know if it will or not. Let's see, we'll take her out here. Fire it up, maybe. I don't know. Okay, this thing's like pulling over a mule. You know what I mean? It's a pretty crappy thing to pull, so no chain brake. May not go. I can't remember which way was on and off though on the switch here. Might need a little sniff of gas down the carb. Hang on. Okay, it might just go. Ooh. That might be all we're gonna get. I wouldn't kind of doubt if it's got a rotten fuel line on it. Oh well. And I'm gonna give her one more try. I got much more gas in her. apparently it doesn't matter which way the switch goes because it doesn't work. It probably doesn't ground out anymore or something. So choke it to kill it. Well, there you go. Decent. Just took a little bit. Alright, that's it for saws. I got the that 041 drained out again and ran it until she ran dry. I guess that's the way to do her. And she probably fire off another 20 years. So what do we got next? We are going to move into, I guess, weed whackers. I do own a few of these, and I've got a couple of few that I'm not using, which well, a couple of these I'm not using here, but I've got two hanging up out here that I'm not going to start. They are on the older video. I just can't remember what state they're in now. There's two hanging up here, the FS85s. I'm just going to leave them. So they're one's an 80. No, what am I talking about here? One's an 80 FS80s. FS80. Sorry, my bad. FS80Rs. There's two of them there. I'm just not going to fire them up because I've got one here that's brand new that we'll look at in a second. That is a true two-stroke, where these are the 4MIX 4-stroke type engines. A little different, so they do sound different, but we'll do with this guy first here. It's actually my wife's machine here, an FS38. FS38 is a 27.2 cc, 0.87 horsepower, just a little guy, and it weighs 9.3 pounds. Pretty light, this one. The curve shaft, it's I don't know, 5 foot tall maybe off the ground 5. I'm about 6 and change-ish, so yeah, let's go fire this one up. Okay, so this one, for some reason, it has like really high compression. Like you can hear it. It's freaking awesome. Really wicked high compression. So these again, on-off switch. Hang on, I can't see what I'm looking at. On-off switch. I is on. O is, I don't know, whatever. You got a lock throttle with this little plastic stupid Dewey here. It's kind of chintzy feeling. And back here's your choke. Where are you? Your choke, and then primer button. So we'll prime her up. See if she'll fire. Wow. This thing's always been good starting. Got no rope in it right now. She must have ran her dry, so I can't run her too wicked fast. Killer. Well, that's the FS38. Good little machine. Alright, now let's get into something a little more awesome. This is my main mule here, this guy, the FS90R 4MIX engine. So what is in there is, pardon me, of course a piston, but there's valves instead of ports in the cylinder. What happens in the two strokes, there's little ports, so it goes down, creates a vacuum, sucks in fuel and air, it goes up, compresses it and fires it, and then down, and then it blows it out the other side. It's pretty kind of weirdish, but it works. They work. This is a true 4MIX, so with valves, so sucks air and fuel into the intake, compresses it, fires it and stuff, and then out the exhaust. So in this side, out this side. It also goes down below to lubricate the bottom end and stuff too. Same with the other one. Okay, so FS90R, 28.4 cc, which is 1.27 horsepower, and it weighs 11.7 pounds. And we'll do this one, and then we'll do the two-stroke, and then we'll do the big 4-stroke there. And you'll definitely notice the difference between them. So let's go fire them up. Okay, just before we do that, there's a really huge overhang of snow hanging off up there. So I'm just going to move out a little bit out here somewhere, and I don't get nailed by that because that's going to let go, I think, any second. Sure feels like it anyways. But okay, let's fire up FS90R 4-mix, 4-stroke engine, 2-stroke gas still though. So same again, these are a little nicer though. They push the top, lock your throttle on. Right, see that locks on. And then on the front here is your choke on, and primer bulb dewey there. And we'll fire it up here. These usually fire on the first one here, so just hoping, pretty much. So turn your choke off now. They sound like they're really low on power, but really they're not once you use the head part of it. It's spinning pretty freaking good. That's the idea though, like this thing I can go for frickin', should have showed you how much fuel is in it. It's not a whole lot, that's basically your tank there. And I can go for like 2 hours on a tank, running like full throttle almost the whole time. It's pretty crazy, so give it another fire. Sounds kind of nice though, eh? Oh, there it is. Listen to the engine here. Now listen to the head spin. Grass gets beat up pretty good with that. Alright, let's go fire up the next one. Alright, this is brand new still. I got this one just on a bit of a whimmy kind of thing. I didn't really need one, but he's like, oh, these are all new out. You should take one and try it. I'm like, okay, but then he wanted me to pay for it. I'm like, wait a minute. He said try one, but I don't want to pay for it anyways. So I ended up buying one. It's still brand new, never been used, as you can see, right down to the head. Still like clean. That's usually the first part that goes really grimy really fast. Kind of like the one behind here, if you see that one, pretty grimy. Yeah, so this is a full 2-stroke. So we've got FS94R 24.1 cc. 1.2 horsepower and weighs 10.1 pounds. And they've put a little bit different kind of a carburetor on these. I can't remember the right name for it now, but stratified or something maybe, I can't remember. A little different here too on the handle. So you lock that, but I can't remember now. I've never really used it, so I have to kind of school myself again. That, I think you just push in, and that kind of does everything for you. I think that, if I remember right, that sets everything, I think, for you there. So you just fire it. Now it's got a cool little feature, which kind of was a selling thing for me too, but I just still haven't used it yet. But it's got a throttle limiter. So instead of having to hold your throttle in the same place all the time, you can adjust this guy, and then it has a stop. So it only goes so far there, right? Now if you're all of a sudden, oh crap, that's not enough power, I need to go more, you just push a little harder and it goes past that thing. And whoom! So you can adjust that right down to like nothing, or right up to whatever full you want. And it's a different kind of switch on this. It's just normal, well, it's the same idea as I guess these ones. You just, but this one you just, and it stops like right away, so it's a little different. So I presume there's still a bit of fuel in this. Yeah, a little bit. I don't know what I'm going to really do with this thing. Eventually I'll use it, but probably get into it maybe this year. So, okay, let's go fire up the FS94R. Okay, so remember the noise of the last one. These ones sound a little more kind of whinier sounding, I guess you would maybe call it. I don't know. It just seems chintzier to me. lighter. Seems to take a while to spool that up though. And then this is just, of course, the push button stop. So there we go. FS. Already forgot. FS94R. Okay, one of my favorite ones. I've got many attachments for this. This is the KM Combi Attachment series. It's got a splitty thing there, so you can put different attachments to it. This is one you guys seen in some of the videos. We had to do some work to it. It seems to be okay. So what are our specs on this one? I gotta find my right sheet. Where did I put it? KM130R. 36.3 cc. 1.9 horsepower, about 2 horsepower. 10.1 pounds. And before we go fire it, I'll show you all my attachments I do have for it. Where are we here? We got a hedge trimmer. It's pretty sweet. It's an adjustable hedge trimmer too, so that's a pretty good little attachment, but I only use it like every 3 years, maybe for the hedges up the road. The next one here is a little rototiller attachment I use over in the scattering garden to keep the weeds down and stuff. Works pretty good. And I got a little chainsaw attachment. Of course, you've seen that quite a bit. Pretty good little thing. I also got 3 extensions. Leaf blower attachment that just hooks on, sucks the air to there, whoosh, out the front. It's pretty super awesome. Stay. I got one other attachment out here. Let's go look. We got the paddle sweeper. Well, this works good for like sandy crap and stuff on grass or whatever. If I have a funeral and it was a crappy dig in the winter or something, I left gravelly stuff, I can pull it all back into the hole. I also got a set of brushes for that thing too. They're pretty hard to use though. They're very aggressive, really hard, better on pavement and stuff, where this is better on like grass and stuff. One was getting squashed a bit. Hopefully it didn't hurt the brushes too much, but should be alright hopefully. So yeah, that's all the attachments. They do have other ones. They have an edger. I do have either a weed whacker head too, or a blade like that for cutting brush. And that just slides in and away you go. So we'll should probably put something on. That thing makes too much noise. That'd be alright maybe, but we could just fire it without it, I guess. So let's go fire it up. 130R KM. Oh man, I am so going to get plowed by that. When I walk under it, one of these times it's going to come off. I probably should knock it off. For a minute until she hangs again, but let's fire this 130 up. This is the one we did a bunch of work to it, and I haven't had it going since. So same again. Lock your throttles. Choke on the front, primer on the top, and one pull. Oh, really? This one's always like to have itself warmed up. It'll probably blow up. I don't want to run that one too much, but without an attachment on it. But it, yeah, it always like to have itself warmed up. I guess there's more cold metal in there, more mass. I don't know. Alright, I got an old hedge trimmer here. We're going to do that very last. Next we're going to do blowers and stuff. So this is a little handheld guy. I've had this for, oh geez, since about 2004 maybe-ish. Somewhere around there, roughly. So this is an SH55. Where's my specs on him? I got them here somewhere. SH55 27.2 cc, 1.5 horsepower, 11.2 pounds, CFM, so cubic foot per minute, that's how much air it blows, is 430 at 140 miles per hour velocity. This thing come with, can't exactly remember where I put it now, it's here somewhere, it's probably underneath my counter somewhere, but you take this lid off here, this big tube fits on, you take this tube off here, put a bag on, and then you can use it to suck things up and bag it. It works pretty good. Let's see here. Oh, we need some fuel. Fuel! Fuel! Oh. Fuel! Fuel. Now, I don't use this guy a whole lot. Should be good to get that going. Okay, so starting with sort of like the weed whackers. Actually, it's the same, probably the same carburetor on them as the small curve shaft. So on, off, lock your throttle there. Chokes here, and primer here. It's going to need prime because it looks like it was right out of fuel. Primer a bit. And all the primer does is bring fuel up into the carburetor, so you don't have to pull like 50 more times to get the fuel to suck up through as you're pulling. So that on, let's go out and fire up the old wind blower. Okay, the old blower. Let's see here, how many pulls? Oh, that's a pretty good sign. That wasn't a good sign. Side and to the fan and out the front. That would also be your suction. Suck the leaf and all the crap and then out through here. It's kind of hard on it though. I don't know if you can see in there. There's a little chopping blade in there for chopping stuff up. It sort of works, but sucked my pants in one day because I forgot to put the guard back on. It kind of sucked, but literally. Never, ever had a problem with this thing. It's frickin' been a really good little machine. But there we go. That's our SH55 blower. Alright, now it's time to get serious. BR600, and I think they actually have a 660 or something around there or something now too. It's a little bigger than this one yet. Again, but this thing blows. I don't need anything more than that. So BR600, 64.8 cc. And that's a big chunk of metal. 3.8 horsepower, weighs 21.6 pounds, I think, without the fuel. Maybe with the fuel, I don't know. 677 CFM. So the little blower was 430. And maximum velocity of this is 238 miles per hour, and the little guy was 140, so pretty sweet. So this thing has been kind of preserved for the winter, but wouldn't mind maybe just giving her a little fire up. And she's dry, so this thing holds, I think it said on there, 1400 cc's of fuel. So, and I'll tell you, that's a big chunk of an engine, and it sure doesn't take very long to burn that out. You get fill a tank here. It's almost one of these 1 gallon cans, not quite. And get walking on the back blowing leaves, and you get halfway around, it's like, whoa, 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 really? So I now take a little can of fuel with me. So get her priming. It's going to be a long way to go up into the thing here. carburetor's about here and the fuel line's down here, so it's got to go all the way up. But she's there already. So that's sweet. And up here it's the same sort of deal as that other one. You've got your choke on there, and then there's a throttly lock thing here too. Usually you don't need that for starting this though. It sort of does everything for you there. And up here you've got your, of course, your speed, boom, 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 and then your shut off there. Buh. So the only thing I don't like about it is you can lock your throttle on like there when you're blowing, but then you can't just push this to release it. You got to actually push down on this guy. If you go too far, buh. Really, it's mounted on my back. What the heck am I supposed to do now? So yeah, so anyways, let's take her out, see if she'll fire. Sure she will, but let's go see. Big horsepower. Okay. Unhook this guy right now so I don't get blown in the face. And everything's set. Holy. Right over. That works pretty sweet, eh? Holy cow, that was actually pushing me. I'm so dizzy. Oh, that was fun though. Man, if you could get yourself on like a bearing thing there or whatever and just start going, oh my goodness. That velocity is crazy. I'll show you how good the velocity is if you remember doing this. Hang on. I don't know if I can reach it. Oh, wait, that was awesome. Scared the crap out of me, but that was awesome. A little crazy. Let's see what happens. That's almost too much fun. So you know I needed to try it. principles there. Alright, last but not least on our list of STIHL stuff, I do believe that is everything I own other than those other two weed whackers out there, but I'm not going to bother with them. Good old hedge trimmer. I haven't had this going since probably maybe 2006. I'm thinking. This I think was bought in around 2003, 4-ish maybe, and I think it maybe only ran a couple of times then too, so I don't know if it's going to go or not. It's sat for a long time. Oh, that's still working. Primer's still working, so let's give her a shot. I'm just running the fuel out of the big BR600 there. Okay. And she's sucking in fuel, so that's good. Geez, this thing may even go. Now, the only reason I haven't used this thing is because I got my pole one, and it's a lot more versatile than this is. It's adjustable, it's longer, you can get higher. And honestly, there's very little hedges that I trim back here for people. If they're needing trimmed, they're needing pulled. That's what I tell them. Like, you let them grow this far, there's no point in me trimming them. Cedars especially, you can only take them back like maybe 3-4 inches and then you're into the dead stickwood and then they look like crap. So off to the ground they go, and anything else it's usually way overgrown, I just pull them. So anyways, I let that blower out there run out of fuel and then we'll put him away. This is the same principle again. Push that. Feels pretty good. You turn that on, there is a little locker. Locks your throttle. Same as the weed whacker's choke there. I don't know, one pull, will she go? Whew, I don't know. We'll let that thing finish out there and then we'll give her a shot. Okay, last but not least, the old girl here. Everything's set. Give her a couple extra primes. That primer valve is getting hard though. That's the ethanol in the fuel. Now, I'll be surprised. It'll go in a few pulls maybe. It's like it's never shut off. Huh. That's freaking fantastic. Smells pretty gross though. Got that old stink to it, you know. Oh, something's leaking there though. I did that. What's leaking, I wonder? Out of the cap? Not doing it now. This little fitting here, this little fitting on the tank here was leaking a little bit. It's probably dried out. So is actually probably the line is probably getting dry. Still runs though. Well, it did. dump the fuel and preserver again, I guess. So all I've ever done to preserve, just dump the fuel out and run her until she stops. Then generally what I do is try to prime anything out of the bulb as much as you can, because it'll rot the bulbs out. Can't get it all though, unfortunately. And just idle it, if it will. May not. Probably it. That's hung there, sorry, since about 2005 or 6 -ish. There we go. Good to go. Alright, so another thing I'll do is I got her all as much fuel out of the system as I can. I'll let the cap stay open for 4 or 5 days, let it all vaporate out, and you should be good. As long as you get it all dumped out, there's nothing really in there, it'll just evaporate. Yeah, so pretty sweet. That friction started pretty good. This thing, of course, too, the old girl saw finally went, and everything else started too, which is good. So everything is awesome. So I was looking into that BR600 backpack blower. They do have a different one out. It's a Magnum. Doesn't really look any different to me. Actually, their air velocity is lower, about 30 mile an hour. So from what I read, they're down to 201. So it's like, ooh, that's not good. But everything else looks pretty much the same CC. It's the same engine, same everything in it. So I really don't know what the huge big difference is. Maybe something in a feature. Anti-vibration, multi-function control handle, I don't know. This is right off their site, so I don't know. I'm pretty happy with this one. I'm not going to probably change it. So anyways, yeah, so that is the STIHL collection. That's all I can think of anyways that I've got. I don't think I got anything anywhere else. As far as I know, that's it. Other than those 2 weed whackers hanging out there, but I'm not even going to bother with them. They're pretty much exactly the same as that other one we fired up here. So I'm not really too gonna fire them up. So yeah, so yeah, that's I guess it for now for STIHL. We'll do another video in what's 11, 12, 13, another 6 years. We'll do another video, maybe not quite so long, and I'm sure by then maybe we'll have another STIHL tool of some sort. I don't know. Fire everything up again, and I can't believe that old girl actually went. Took a little bit of snuffing down the carb, but she took off. It was awesome. So yeah, I think that's it for today. I can think of off of my mush brain. So anyways, I guess that's it. Thanks again for watching. Hopefully in the next couple of days we'll have the new camera here in, hopefully, and we'll maybe do a little unbox on it. That is the same as this one. It's the, what was this one? A HDR PJ380 Sony HD camcorder. And yeah, I've been pretty happy with this one. And so I found one on eBay that was kind of expensive, but she's ours anyways. Oh, I got stuff on my lens on this one for sure today. But anyways, thanks again for watching. Have a good day, and we'll catch you hopefully tomorrow. We'll see what's going on. I don't know yet. But anyways, thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you when we catch you. So I'm sure there's a question asked or not, if there's any other STIHL equipment I might get. I don't know, I might not mind one of those cut-off saws, quick cut saws. The concrete cutter looks really good, but the guys were telling me that you only get very little actually cut with them, and then the chain's no good. The chain's like 90 bucks or something for a new chain for it, so I don't think that would be good. I guarantee you that this guy didn't cut this whole wall with that. From what they were telling me anyways, they don't last very long. Augers? No, I don't think so. cut off saw maybe, I don't know. Sometimes it might be kind of handy, but as you can see, that actually probably would have been a better view. I would of course have to go with the TS800, and that is a $1,800 saw. So that's not likely going to happen. It's no point, like, for what I would want to use it for would be to cut a line in like the dirt in the frost. You can't even see that. Cut a line in the dirt in the frost so it kind of breaks apart easier, but the guys said they probably wouldn't do that too well either, so it all bung up on you and be crappy and stuff. But TS800 is 98.5 cc. It's 6.8 horsepower. Weight is 28 pounds. Heavy. Cutting wheel, you can put a 16-inch cutting wheel on it. That's pretty sweet. And $1819.95 plus our lovely tax here. So yeah, no thanks. I don't think so. So anyways, that was a pretty fun day. It's been a while since we've had kind of a fun day goofing around with equipment and stuff like that. It's been too serious, I think, lately. Trailer building and stuff, and you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's me just not having fun or something, but I had fun today, so hopefully you guys did too. A little bit of messing around with some old machinery, old equipment and stuff. I can't believe it all started. That's freaking weird. No real trouble with anything. Maybe that's a good thing. So that, I don't know what to say. It's either really fantastically good engineered product or the guy that's running it. I don't know. Just saying. Just saying. Probably a bit of both maybe, but use good quality gas, good quality still oil, which I use all the time. Don't buy the frickin' $1.99 for 15 gallons at Walmart stuff. Don't do that. Get the right stuff. And that right there seemed to be a good example. That old chainsaw hadn't fired for 6 odd anyways years, and that hedge trimmer, boy, that would have had to have been at least 10, 12 maybe, I don't know, something like that. But yeah, so it was a good day. So hopefully you enjoyed. Thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you later.